Hey folks, welcome to the special edition DevCon 2025 podcast. And we're discussing Agentic AI, which is the theme for this year at DevCon 2025. We'll talk about how the next step in this entire leap of intelligent automation is being taken care of. And I'm joined by someone who is helping lead this transformation at UiPath. Please join me in welcoming Gautam Goenka, who is the Vice President of Software Engineering and Site Head at UiPath. Welcome to the show, Gautam.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Great. So, Gautam, to start with, help me understand that it's great to see the energy here. But what does it mean to you when you see these kind of developer energy and community coming together to work on something smarter?
Yeah. So UiPath is the number one in business automation platform, right? What we are launching today is our Act 2, right? This is all about agentic automation. And India is where our largest developer community is there, right? So we have over 3 million developers in our UiPath community with almost 1 million plus in India.
Okay.
And that is the reason why we have this developer conference in Bangalore over here in India. This is not an India-specific conference,
Okay.
but this is a global conference that we are launching all our product from here in India.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so I'd like to dive into the agentic AI that has been the the part of conversation throughout the event. That it's a big theme this year, and everybody's talking across industries. What do you think is the technology leaders across industries, if I want to say, are turning towards it, and why are they turning towards it?
Yeah. So I strongly believe this is the right time for the leaders to start thinking about agentic automation,
Okay.
right? There are multiple factors which are converging now, right? First, as a business, there is always a pressure to increase efficiency, to gain more productivity, to do stuff faster, right? That's always true, right? And agentic automation is exactly, the promise of agentic automation is exactly that, right? Second is the advancement on all the large language models, right? When the large language models came up first in November 2022, they were more about just a conversational assistant, right? They were more about research and all. But over a period, the models have advanced, have got reasoning capabilities, have got agencies which are suited for this kind of agentic automation. And finally, all the democratizations of automation or AI platforms and tools that has happened, right? At UiPath, we have taken all these three factors into account and build a great product for agentic automations, which will help exactly in this kind of scenario. So we have a automation platform, orchestration platform called Maestro, which allows user to automate across human and robots. So all these factors are coming together, and we are launching our agentic automation product today, right? It's a conversion of all these factors. And one of the products we have, for example, is what we call Maestro Agentic Orchestration Platform, which allows us to orchestrate across robots and agents to fulfill the vision of agentic orchestration, right? Second is what we are launching today is Agent Builder, which allows us to create this enterprise-grade agents, which works reliably for all the agentic automation tasks that businesses may.
Okay. So I see that there's a vision of scalability when it comes to developing these products Gautam on together. But from a developer and engineering standpoint, tell us that what are some of the key considerations when implementing agentic automation into the systems?
Yeah, this is a very good question, right? So enterprise-grade automation is hard, right? And for us to do agentic automation that works 100% of time without any human intervention is a very hard challenge, right? If we look across in the market, we see a lot of cases where people have a good demo scenario, but when they take it to production, it does not work, it fails, right? So from demo to production is a very hard part today with current set of tools. When we have been thinking about it in UiPath, we have been specifically focused on three key considerations, right? One, the whole automation need not be done by a single agent, right? The way we want people to start thinking about automation is what are the deterministic steps and what are the non-deterministic steps, right? Break it down into the workflow of deterministic and non-deterministic step with very clearly targeting the robots the RPA for deterministic step and have one focused agent per non-deterministic step, right? That's the way to get the reliability up, and then use orchestration tool like our UiPath Mesto to orchestrate across all these things to get that high reliability and all those things. The second thing that we have done with our agent builder and other tools is to provide guardrails in the tool itself, right? Things which can watch out for Gen AI, because we all know Gen AI can hallucinate, can start acting. So these are the tools which which gives that guardrail and ensures that it doesn't act. You're able to test and do a good job at the design time before you deploy them into the production.
Okay. Okay. So this can be cited as choreographing the entire vision, putting it together when it comes to orchestration.
And that's how the name Mesto comes. Mesto is the orchestrator, the director of the
Right.
orchestra, right? So
Okay. So that was about the vision and how the entire segmentation is done. Coming to the UiPath platform, Gautam, help us understand that while we keep on hearing the agentic AI and it can boost productivity, we all know, and it can unlock new business avenues. That is something that is very prevalent. How does that actually work? The entire show up is done when it comes to the real world. If you can just help us with some scenarios or references that you worked upon.
yeah, see, overall, we have at UiPath, we have almost 11,000 enterprise paying customers, right? And everyone has used our RPA solutions to automate some parts of their business, right? And in each one of those cases, we can see a good requirement, good need for agentic orchestration, right? And which can help complete that automation story. So, for example, just yesterday I was talking to one of our customers in healthcare, and they have we were discussing about a big requirement around automation for claim management, insurance claim management, and the challenges over there. So today, for example, they have automated a big part of that scenario using RPA, but there's a step where human is involved because someone has to make a decision based on a 400-page policy document. That was not possible prior to Agentic. Now with Agentic automation, we are already working on a proof of concept to automate those kind of stuff, right? Another good example I can think of is around customer support, where people are using this agentic automation to deflect customer tickets, right? When a customer ticket comes, they can use the agents to figure out prior issues, prior documents, support documents, and all those things, and deflect those tickets. We ourselves are doing something like this, dogfooding this using our own agents, and are able to have almost 30% efficiency.
Okay. So talking about the platform, which is rapidly evolving, and we've seen, you've spoken about how new launches, and every day you're trying to ease the job of several organizations across businesses. And as businesses, we see move towards autonomous agents. Gautam, what does this mean to IT and dev teams particularly, and how is the role of a developer changing?
Yeah. I keep getting this worry that what's happening to software engineer, what's happening to IT professionals, right? And my son is in engineering, so I wouldn't have put him into engineering, into software engineering, if I had thought that there's a danger to this profession, right? So the way I see is, as a software professional, our challenges are only going to grow, right? With agentic automation, there are more and more scenarios that we can automate. The business processes are getting complex. Businesses are becoming complex, and there's more need to do automation, right? There's a pressure on business to gain efficiency, right? And the challenge of software professional is only going to increase, right? Some of these tools will only make it easy for them to do scenarios which were not possible earlier, but there's a lot more incoming. So I don't see any risk in the job or any of those front.
Okay, so very relevant to this, I would want to ask you that how are you exactly helping these developers build smarter, faster, and more strategically when it comes to moving in this agent-driven world? How do you help them?
Yeah, so see, this is a time and era of vibe coding. All of us are doing some form of vibe coding, and that is something that we are infusing in our platform too. So we have something called autopilot for developers. So in all our development story, all our platform across what we have, Studio and other development tools, you will get this autopilot experience where you can essentially do vibe coding on our platform. So you can chat with our systems and do the stuff, right? So instead of doing an automation, building an automation, I can do vibe coding. I can talk to the system to say, this is the automation I want, express my intent, and get that automation generated for me, right? And then take it from there, maybe customize it, maybe enhance it the way I want it, right? So that's one clear developer flow that we are doing. Another thing, for example, we are doing is post development. So today, a lot of time the automation breaks because something in the UI or the system has changed, right? And we are doing this Gen AI based healing agent, what we call auto healing agent, which will look at these failures and smartly act on it, right? So, for example, I'm playing an automation in my production, and suddenly a pop-up comes, right? In past, the automation used to fail. Now, our healing agent will be smart enough to understand this is a pop-up and dismiss the pop-up, right? And continue the automation from there. Or my UI button has moved somewhere, right? So the things have changed. It will realize these changes and suggest back to the developer to say, how do you can fix your automation to make it more resilient for future run, right? So bunch of these are the productivity enhancements where we are infusing the AI into our product to ensure our developers are more productive.
That's very interesting. All you developers listening to this episode today, please ensure that you go and look at these innovation that has been built to make your job easier. Moving on to the next one, Gautam, let's talk about the skills part here of the entire AI literacy. What kind of AI literacy or strategic thinking do developers need to succeed in this space?
Yeah, see, the world is evolving fast, right? The rate of acceleration is increasing like never before, right? So it is important for not just developers, for people in any profession to keep upgrading their skills. As a developer, my suggestion would be to enhance your skills, like understand the basics of AI, like understand the math behind it, the concept behind it, right? Be aware of this new vibe coding thing, be comfortable with that, and take it from there, right? A lot of fundamentals that we were all used to as a software professionals, as a developer, has not changed. That continues to stay, but embrace this new reality that you have to do work with AI and AI system and take it from there.
Okay, so this vibe coding that I've been, actually listening to is something that I've, just been aware about. What does it exactly mean, and how does it function at UiPath, or maybe from the generic industry standpoint, Gautam?
Yeah. So, for example, earlier in the keynote, when we were developing our own vibe coding tool, right, we said the new programming language for me is English, right? So the English is the language in which I am programming.
Okay.
So that's exactly the vibe coding, right? So to the coding assistant, I very clearly describe in English what I want to accomplish.
Okay.
I describe my intent, and the more thorough I am in describing my intent, the better is the code that it will generate. But behind the scene, that coding assistant is understanding my intent and generating the code. It could be a code for the UI. In our case, it could be the automation code that it generates. And then I can iterate with it, right? The intent, I see the generated code and I figure out maybe I made a mistake in expressing my intent. I can regenerate it. I can incrementally generate it. I can express the step 1 of my intent, look at the code, fix it, then generate the step 2 of my code by expressing that intent and all those things, right? So it's like a chat experience with the assistant that I'm having to generate a good percentage of my code and then use that as a starter and go from there.
Okay, that's very interesting and exciting at the same time. I'll talk about India market a little, Gautam, here, because we see India as the rising hub for these innovation that is happening everywhere. With India becoming such a key innovation hub, at least for UiPath as well, how is the company investing in the growth of developer talent and AI capabilities?
Yeah. So, India is a big center for us at UiPath. A lot of our engineering happens from India, right? And we are going big way over here. So last year we grew by 30% and we'll continue some going in India, right? One of the things because of all the growth that we are seeing in India Center, UiPath India Center, and all this new charter that we are taking over. One of the things I have explicitly focused on is upgrading our talent, hire more senior people from outside industry, focus on growing our people from inside, right? So a lot of those things. And related to this, whatever I mentioned earlier, right, all of us at UiPath are also going through that change where we are upgrading our skill in a sense that we are embracing vibe coding and all these coding assistant that I have talked about. Right, at UiPath, we ourselves are using those very actively and understanding the impact. How do we code in this new world? How do we build scenarios, build features that make our customer happy in this new world?
Okay. Now, from your vantage point, what excites you the most about how India is contributing to UiPath's global growth and vision?
Yeah. So this is easy, right? To me, like the way I see it, the work, the impact that we are doing at India is best of both the worlds, right? At UiPath, our benefits, our employee care is at par with any big enterprise, any best in the world software company that we have. At the same time, the pace that we are innovating, the agility that we are showing is at better than any startup that you see. So it's a best of both worlds, right? I get to do a good, cool work that I am happy. I have the autonomy to do that work. And at the same time, there's a good employee care, there's good structure, good benefit to things that we have.
Okay. Agentic automation feels like stepping stone to something even bigger, and we all have witnessed that here. What trends or shifts do you see coming next for developers to watch?
This is hard to predict, right? If I was good at this, I would have probably be somewhere else. But all of us are talking about AGI, right? Generic automation, generic intelligence, which will has potential to at some point make human-like decision, replace human in some sense, right? To me, that may still sound like a bit of a science fiction. I don't know when that will be reality. But what we see today with agentic automation is real, and this is only going to grow bigger and bigger, right? So in next 3 years, I think everything that we think is automatable will be automated using this agentic automations and the tools that we are building at UiPath.
Okay. Now, if I am a developer and looking to future-proof my skills, and maybe if I want to write successfully in this entire wave of intelligent automation, what are your advice on these trends?
Yeah, yeah. So first thing I would say is math is becoming more and more important in some sense, right? So understand the math behind AI, understand the math behind how large language model work, understand the concept very deeply, right? That's becoming a table stake, right? So when I look at hiring engineers in the past, probably I used to only think about their problem solving skills, how they're doing in algorithms and all. But now I also start thinking about, do they understand AI enough? Are they thinking in that context? Can they bring the scenarios? The second is the world is changing fast, right? So the second big skill to pick up is adaptability, right? How can I adapt to this ever-changing world, right? How can I learn new things? How can I iterate faster, right? Today we are living in a world where from idea to product should take time in weeks, not in month, right? Even for large companies, it should be in weeks, right? So how do I iterate faster? How do I work with customers and get that idea to production in a fast way, right? So that learning curve, that mindset needs to be there.
Talking of how to reciprocate faster, I would like to conclude the conversation with quick questions, which I would term as a lightning round, Gautam. Quickly, you need to answer these 3 questions for me. One AI tool or framework you think every developer should check out?
Yeah, check out UiPath Agent Builder, right? It's a cool new tool to build your agents in a very easy, low-code manner.
Great. One word for agentic AI.
Your personal assistant.
And the last one, if Agentic AI were a colleague, how would you describe them?
Okay. Um, a workhouse on which you can dump all your work.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Gautam. I
Thank you.
think we have had great insights that you've shared and the vision of UiPath that you and the team has been working on. Thank you so much for taking out time to sharing this with us. I hope listeners, you had a great time. You keep learning, keep innovating, and stay curious. I'll be back with another episode very soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam.